I'd like to push back on something that's being said about Tuch an awful lot. Does anybody really think the Boston series, the Montreal series, changed the Sabres' thoughts on this? Does anybody really think that? Oh, we're going to let him walk because he had a bad series against Montreal, which, I mean, you could even argue he maybe didn't have a bad series. He just didn't actually get the puck in the net.
Right. Like scoring chances, he was third in the league in the second round or something.
Yeah. Aren't the Sabres
going
to look at that? If they're going to look at the goalie and say, well, the goalie played pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, with the Montreal series and Alex Tuch, I mean, he wasn't built for that series. Alex Tuch he's not slow, but he's straight line fast, right? He's not quick. Montreal is a quick team, a very agile team, a lot of team speed. Alex Tuch, and this is what worries me about signing Alex Tuch for 8 years or 7 years. He's a big man, and he's only going to get slower as the time goes on.
It really wasn't his fault about one of these guys. Right. Wouldn't they have the same process about a forward where, all right, it didn't go in the net, but we don't think he played badly. Mm-hmm. He played fine against Boston, great against Boston.
Played really well against Boston.
So as much as that talking point is out there about fans maybe and the willingness to move on, I do not think that the Montreal series has changed the Sabres' course.
It might alleviate, though, a little bit of the pressure to do what you... If you wanted to take the route of, I think I can find the next Alex Tuch and only pay $5 to $8 million for it and get the same level of production, I'm going to do that again.
You don't have to find the next Alex Tuch. Think about it like Moneyball. You just have to replace his production. You don't have to find another big, tall, long-striding forward who's physical in the corner. You don't need to find the exact same prototype, right? You just need to replace the production. And if you think about the young guys that are coming up, Kulik is a star. He was a star before he got injured. Konsta Helenus is a star. He's going to be a star. That kid's awesome. And Auslin. Those three young kids, I mean, that they could be a young dynamic line in and of themselves. They remind me of when Peterka and Quinn were first coming up from Rochester. Although obviously Peterka forced his way out, but he was a sniper and he was a great player for Buffalo. He was a great young player. And Quinn, before the injuries, don't forget, Quinn had a knee injury and an Achilles injury, and he still is a 20 to 25 goal scorer. He's still an excellent player, at least during the regular season anyways. He kind of phased out a little bit in the playoffs. He had a couple of good plays, but he phased out a little bit.
With Doan, I did it with Tuch, I did it with McLeod. I'm gonna go do that again. If you wanted to do that, I think it's easier to do it after Tuch had 0 points in the Montreal series. Because what if the opposite had happened? What if Tuch had done what he did in the Boston series, which was you lead the forwards in ice time, you're being used more than anybody, and you're like a point-a-game guy in round 2. And, I mean, if they had won the series with him doing that, I think that would increase it even more. Like, there would have been pressure to sign him. I think the better he did and the further you went.
See, Tuch was perfect for the Boston series, right? Boston was a slower, more physical team. He was a good match. It's a matchup-based league. He was a great matchup skill-wise for Boston, not so great for Montreal. I personally think he would have been a great matchup in the Carolina series. Physical in the corners, long reach. He's great on the shorthanded, special teams plays. He would have been a great matchup, I think, against Carolina and even Vegas. I think Montreal was a bad matchup for Tuch, just the way they play.
In the playoffs, I almost feel like him having a goose egg in a 7-game series gives Jarmo an opportunity to say, hey, the appetite to bring you back.
No, I disagree with that. I would not hold that against Tuch. I think Montreal, again, was a bad matchup for him, for who he is and how he plays. So I would definitely not hold that against him in a contract. My biggest fear with Tuch is that you sign him to 7 or 8 years, and you're eating 2 or 3 years on the back end when he really slows down. His speed really slows down. or he's been so comfortable on a big contract that he kind of eats his way out of the league by the time he's 35, 36, 37. I think you pay Tuck a lot of money on a 5-year deal. 5 years, $60 million, give him something like $12 million a year, kind of overpay him for 5 years, and then just tell him, look, you got to scrap it out on the back end. You want to keep playing after that, you got to get what you can get in the league.
Isn't maybe what it was expected to be, and now I'm going to use that as an excuse to say, like, yeah, this is what I wanted to do anyway. Like, I think there are other smarter, sharper moves that we can make to replace you, rather than give you the $10 million a year or $11 million per year, whatever.
I'd like to push back.